Hello everyone, it's me Bryson P. Hope you're having a great day, great night, whatever time it is that you're watching this. And today we're going to be reacting to, for the first time, Jonna Jinton. And I've had a few of you ask me to watch this and react to it, so this is what we're going to be doing today. The video we're reacting to is Living with the Dark Winters in Sweden, Midnight Sun and Polar Night. So it seems like it's pretty interesting. It seems like a lot of you have enjoyed this video already because there's over, it looks like, almost 12 million views. I hope that she doesn't mind that I react to this. Because Jonna Jinton is the original creator, please make sure to give her a like and make sure that she, of course, gets the feedback as well because she is the original creator, okay? Let's get into this and check it out.
My name is Jonna, and I live in the north of Sweden.
Oh,
My name is Jonna. My name is Jonna.
I'm sorry, Jonna. My apologies. I hope that you don't mind me reacting to this, Jonna.
And I live in the north of Sweden. Sweden is a country with a lot of light. And it's also a country with a lot of darkness. It all depends on what season it is.
It's already inspiring. It's just the way that the music, the intro, and her voice, it's already inspiring. I can see why this has such an attraction and so many views.
Just like many other countries in the Northern Hemisphere, there is a strong contrast in the light conditions between summer and winter. In the winter, it's dark almost all the time.
Wow. Look at 2:19 p.m. So 14:19. Wow. And that's that dark. That's what's just, I've never experienced anything like that. I don't think I can't put that into actual perception, you know? Until you experience it, you can't put that into the perception. Oh, I can't wait to actually visit and then to visit it multiple times and come back and see whenever it is dark all the time. Also, not just the summer times. I want to experience the cold and the winter. The deepest snow that I have ever experienced is maybe, that deep. I've never really experienced snow. We get more slush and just flurry, and it's not anything like this.
And in the summer, it's light all the time. During the summer in the very north of Sweden, the sun never sets between the end of May until the middle of July. So you can see the sun 24 hours a day. And that is called the midnight sun.
Yes. And look, I have my midnight sun right here. Just like I was saying I would. There it is. Going. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I really do.
And then, during the winter in the very north of Sweden, it's the opposite. For a couple of weeks, the sun never rises above the horizon, which means that there is no sunlight for about a month. And that is called the polar night. These extreme contrasts in light is caused by the rotation of the Earth in relation to the position of the sun.
I love it.
And the further north you go, the bigger the contrast. I live in the middle north of Sweden, and if I'm lucky and it's a clear sky, I can see the sun above the treetops for about an hour during the darkest time of the year. It's the middle of the day, and this is how high the sun goes up now. It's just a little bit over the horizon, or over the trees. But winters like this one, when it's been cloudy every day, I actually didn't see a glimpse of the sun for over a month. But just a few days ago, now in the beginning of January, I got to feel the sun on my face again. This is the first.
We don't have, of course, snow or anything like that, but we do have a lot of cloudiness and gloomy days where, and it's not for near as long, but it'll be multiple days, 4 or 5 days where it's just gloomy and there's just not really any sun. Whenever you then have that nice sunny day where it's a wonderful feeling to get that sunlight again and just feel that sun, even if it's just for a little bit.
Just a glimpse of the sun that we see in over a month. Do you see this? And that feeling when you begin to feel the sunlight again in January is always overwhelming. It's like seeing the sun for the first time in your life. Even if it can be hard sometimes with these kinds of light conditions, I really love it and I would never want to change it. I think the light is never as beautiful as it is during these most extreme times of the year. When it's summer, I usually change my rhythm and stay up all nights and then sleep in the forenoon instead.
Check that out. Not her, but that was at midnight 39. And look at the amount of light there is in swimming.
Light is so beautiful in the middle of the night, and as a filmmaker and photographer, it's like a dream to be out and capture the beauty of the bright nights of June. And then in the winter, even if we don't get so much sunlight, we at least get a few hours of twilight during the day. And that light is the most beautiful kind of daylight that I know.
Yeah. I really enjoy and I love the early morning rise of the sun. That sunrise, especially in the cold winter months whenever everything's icy and there is snow. My dad and I would go duck hunting, and I have pictures of just sitting there at the duck blind and right there at the early morning first crack of sunlight coming over the horizon and it coming off the water and ice and just reflections and the colors and the pinks. That's some of the best picture taking. I love photography as well. I took a lot of photography classes in high school and a lot of art.
It's like experiencing a long sunrise without a sun. And when it's a clear sky and the sun is rising just a tiny bit above the treetops, it spreads a soft and pink light all over the landscape. And that is beyond beautiful. Around 3 in the day, it's already getting dark, and it makes the evenings feel never-ending. But the darkness makes us see what is never visible in the light. Because actually, we do get sunlight from thousands of suns far, far away.
Yes.
I live in a place where there's no light pollution, and the night sky is breathtaking. And for me, that is one of the reasons that I'd give just about anything to see that. And to be able to just experience and watch and see and just watch as we rotate and everything turns. I'm being dead serious here, guys. I would love to see that. And I mentioned in one of my other videos that whenever I went to bomb school in the New Mexico desert, that I drove out even further one night and tried to get away from the light pollution so that way I could see the stars. But it's nothing like that. Nowhere close. I really love the winter here. And now and then, the sun sends us a greeting in the darkness. Particles from storms on the surface of the sun comes traveling towards the earth colliding with our magnetic field and creating the aurora borealis, the northern lights that dances in the sky.
Yes.
I can never find the right words to describe how much I love to stand under the northern lights on a cold and dark winter night. I can take the darkness any day as long as I get to see the stars and the northern lights.
Yes.
It makes it all worth it.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yes.
even though there is so much beauty to find in these special kinds of light conditions that we have here in the north, I would lie if I said that it's always easy to live and adapt to them, because it's not. Well, the summer is easy. I don't think you can have too much light. The only thing that people often ask me is if it's harder to sleep when it's light all night. And for me personally, if I want to sleep during the night, I have no problem with that. And for those who do feel like it's a problem, it's easily fixed with some thick and dark curtains.
Yep. For me, I used to work at a hospital, and we would work 12s. So for me, I worked a lot of times from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I would sleep, of course, from like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning till around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we had the blackout curtains that were made, of course, to block out sunlight, and I could handle it. Man, I just want to go here. I just want to go here and just experience it.
But the winter and the darkness is definitely much more challenging, and I can only speak from my own experience now. The lack of sunlight makes me more tired, and during the darkest and coldest months, between November and March, I sometimes struggle to keep the energy up. It's harder to get up in the morning when it's dark outside. Our body naturally want to wake up with the sun. And in the afternoon, I often get confused with the time, since the darkness makes it feel like it's much later than it actually is. And the lack of daylight makes me struggle more.
I know that feeling, even though it's nowhere close. But during the winter time, it gets dark here, and it's usually like pitch black by 5 o'clock, 5:30 at the absolute latest. And then you're sitting there, it's dark, and you're so used to it being sunlight at 9 o'clock at night during the summertime. You're not realizing that you're like, oh, you're ready to go to bed. You've already ate dinner. You're ready to go to bed. You've already watched TV, and it's 7:30. 19:30, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. And you're just like, wow, it doesn't feel like it's that early still. So nowhere close to that experience, but we do experience it, of course.
More as a filmmaker, since I only have 1 hour of good light to film in a day, compared to the 24-hour of good light in the summer.
Yeah.
So the darkness, combined with the cold, make things a bit more challenging. And I know I'm not the only one struggling to keep up the energy during this time of the year. But of course, there is many things you can do to make the winters a little easier. I want to mention a few things that helps me adapt better to the lack of sunlight. For me personally, I think that the tiredness that I feel in the winter is the hardest part. The energy level is so low sometimes, and the cure to that is not always to sleep more. It can actually be to do the opposite.
Yep.
So I try my best to keep being active and moving my body as much as I can, and get as much daylight as possible. I go for long walks with my dog every day. And if the weather is good, I like to go out in the forest with my snowshoes and my camera, or go skiing.
Helping to keep that circadian rhythm on track and being able to do things during the daytime, even though you know you're experiencing darkness, but that only it helps alleviate some of that, because you're helping keep that rhythm of active and sleep and active, and it's obviously, you know, you got to combat that darkness that you're experiencing and get that sleep monster that just makes you want to sleep all the time, and you get the winter blues, and it's just ugh. But yeah, good. This is, to me, I mean, all of this is great information and good information. I don't care who you are. I love it. It's good and great videography and great everything. Jonna.
I also love to take ice baths. It's something I started doing a few years ago, combined with breathing exercises using the Wim Hof method, and it has become my favorite way of boosting myself with new energy when I need it the most. Going into that freezing water is actually the last thing that my body wants to do in that moment. But putting myself into that kind of discomfort is awakening something in me that helps me reset my body. Believe it or not, but cold swims and cold showers has many good health benefits. It's not for everyone, of course, and it's important to get knowledge before trying an ice bath if you have never done it before. But for me, it has been a great source of energy and joy during the winter time.
Great information. I had just said before that, great information. Wonderful. I completely agree and approve.
So, I really feel a big difference in my energy levels in the winter when I move my body in some way. It doesn't need to be a full workout, but just something, a little every day, that makes you feel alive. When we can't get enough energy from the sun, I think it's even more important to make sure that we get enough energy and nutrition from our food. Nature has so much to give us in the summer that we can harvest and save for the winter when we need it the most.
Just so y'all know, also, because I live in Kentucky, United States, so all that other good stuff, I have taken agricultural classes. And also, I've grown my own vegetables many times. I've grown bell peppers. I grew jalapeno peppers. I've grown habanero peppers. I've grown scorpion peppers. I've grown russet potatoes. I've grown white Yukon gold potatoes, or whatever they are. All kinds of like tomatoes and cucumbers, radishes. I've grown all kinds of stuff. I make a salsa out of it, and then we would can it, and I would can it. Not we, but I. Other people would help me. But yeah, I learned how to do all that stuff myself. And it was wonderful. I also made pepper jelly with the jalapenos. Your boy can do some stuff. I'm not just a YouTuber. I can do some stuff in the kitchen and everywhere else. I can work.
Here in the north, we have plenty of berries in the forest, so I like to pick tons of blueberries and lingonberries and put in the freezer so that we can eat berries and drink juice from berries every single day during the whole winter. I also like to pick different herbs that are good for our health and dry them to make my own tea for the winter. One of my favorite teas to drink when it's cold and dark outside is simply made out of birch leaves. I pick them just as they begin to bloom in the spring, while they are still small and light green. And the tea smells and tastes just like how it smells like in the spring. And in the middle of the winter, I think it feels so comforting to have a piece of the spring to remind you of the wonderful time to come when everything is blooming and the birds are singing again. And of course, I also take vitamin D supplements since we don't get anything from the sun in many months. Even though that would never replace the sun, I believe it can help a little bit.
Oh, of course, you're not getting the vitamin D deficiency. You know, it does help. Like she said, it helps a little bit. You know, you can't replace the sun. You can't replace that wonderful, great nuclear reaction that's in the sky.
The list of things you can do to handle the darkness is endless. These were just to mention a few. But I think that the most important thing of all is to accept and adapt to the cycles of nature. I definitely feel a big difference in the energy during summer and winter, both in nature and in myself. And that doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, it's just different. I think the winter and the darkness can cause a lot of unnecessary suffering when we are trying to force ourselves to feel the same as we do in the summer. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel lack of inspiration, and it's okay to need more sleep and to let things slow down.
Yeah. It's okay for that because that's what other animals do. You know, we have animals that hibernate, we have animals that, you know, go underground, we have all these like squirrels that, you know, pick their nuts and everything else and store food for the winter so that way everything slows down, metabolisms slow down, all that stuff.
A flower would never force itself to bloom in the cold winter. So why would we? This way of thinking changed my way of dealing with the different seasons. I love the winters just as much as I love the summers. They both have their own benefits and challenges. And I think it gets much easier when we let go and accept what we feel instead of fighting it, and accept the cycles in nature and the cycles in ourselves and learn to live with it, like a dance.
Absolutely. Us as human beings, we're all connected somehow, some way. And we're all a part of the seasons. We're all part of the changing earth. We're all part of all of this. This is so inspiring. It really is, because I would have never watched this video had it not been for your requests. And watching it, this whole entire video has been so inspiring. Not only to travel and to go to Sweden and to go further north in Sweden and to just experience all of this stuff, but also everything that she said. This is just amazing. This is an amazing video.
So, this is how it is to live with the light and the darkness in the north of Sweden, from my perspective. The extreme contrasts in light also creates a bigger contrast to the seasons, and they all have their own beauty. I love the constantly changing seasons, and that you can see and feel how the light changes a little bit for every single day that goes by. The beautiful balance of light and darkness is my greatest source of inspiration, and it makes every day feel new and different.
This is just a wonderful video to watch, especially for learning more about Sweden, and my travel plans are just, it's going to be fantastic. Even though I'm going during the summertime, I know for a fact that I will be back, and I'll be coming during the wintertime, and I know for a fact that I will come back at a time where I can go further up north also, and I'm going to eventually get to the point where I can spend more time there than just a few days or 10 days or anything like that. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great night, great day, whatever time it is that you watch this. It's me, Bryson P., and goodbye.